WWE Money in the Bank PLE is right around the corner, and there is so much going on that this can potentially set up the rest of the year, even going into next year in WWE. Now, WWE's Money in the Bank Premium Live event has been growing and growing over the last few years, really making it stand out as maybe a potential 5th major PLE in the year. We have the Royal Rumble, we have WrestleMania, we have SummerSlam, we have Survivor Series, but in the middle of the year now, we're getting Money in the Bank, and this opportunity to go climb the ladder, reach for the briefcase for both the men and the women, really does elevate the end of WrestleMania season, but also going into the second half of the year. And as we saw in 2023 with the men's and women's Money in the Bank winners being Damian Priest and Io Sky, both going on to have successful cash-ins, but also great reigns, pretty decent quality reigns opposed to previous years of Money in the Bank cash-ins. Io Sky winning that women's Money in the Bank briefcase and cashing in at SummerSlam to become the WWE Women's Champion, then going on to lose it months later at WrestleMania, which is the same event where Damian Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank contract to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, all this time later, going into the 2024 Money in the Bank Premium Live event, Damian Priest is still the World Heavyweight Champion, and well, Io Sky is doing her own thing with Damage Control. And in this video, we're going to be predicting the rest of the Money in the Bank card. We're going to be going over the match card, who should be in the matches, both the men's and the women's Money in the Bank, title matches, and even giving you some predictions as who I think should win those matches, because quite frankly, as a fantasy WWE booker, I have pretty much the rest of the year panned out as to what I think will happen. Money in the Bank being a very significant piece of that heading into the second half of 2024. Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your host, Joey Karni. And if you are a returning subscriber, I always welcome you back. Thanks for watching. If you are a new or potential subscriber, I hope by the end of this video, you smash that subscribe button like your tribal chief Roman Reigns would. I've seen on this channel previously that when I've done fantasy booked prediction PLE videos such as this one, you've enjoyed them fully, the views have been phenomenal, and quite frankly, I enjoy doing them, so why not continue the fun, predict Money in the Bank, and I'll even be doing a prediction video for SummerSlam coming up after Money in the Bank. But this video, we're going over Money in the Bank matches, going over the full match card. So let's dive into it. Now, what we've been seeing over the last few months in WWE when it comes to title matches at premium live events is that they really don't put the same titles on the line every single month. They kind of play like A-B block scheduling, if you know what that is. Some PLEs will see the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Some will see the WWE Championship, the Women's World Championship, the WWE Women's Championship. Kind of plays hot potato between the brands as to which titles will be on the line. This one in particular, I feel that the Women's World Championship will be on the line. Plus, Liv Morgan has yet to defend that championship outside of her contract-obligated championship match with Becky Lynch. But I think that on this PLE, Liv Morgan will be defending the WWE Women's World Championship against the LWO's Zelina Vega. Now, if you look across the board on the women's roster on Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan has no story with them whatsoever. This new heel Liv Morgan character is strictly based around Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day. Well, guess what? She can't face the Judgment Day for that championship, and Rhea Ripley is out with an injury, so what is left for her to do? There's really no other story. What we've been seeing over the last few weeks, seeds being planted for a story with Zelina Vega. Now, I love Zelina Vega, but in no way, shape, or form do I see her winning this championship match. This is just to solidify Liv Morgan as a true heel, but also as the Women's World Championship, really being, I hate to be this harsh, but a transitional champion while building Liv, of course, until Rhea Ripley comes back and mauls her for that championship. But this match in particular, I think will be entertaining. It's along the lines of Judgment Day versus LWO stuff. We've been seeing it pan out on Raw for the last few weeks, like I said. Zelina Vega deserves an opportunity to really elevate herself and show what she can do because she's one of the best on the roster, Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT. So I think that a Women's World Championship match between Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega is pretty much predictable at this point to be added to the Money in the Bank card. Now, looking at WWE's pattern when it comes to premium live events is that they don't stack the card fully with all of these matches. There's a handful, between 4 to 5 matches per premium live event, that are really, really great matches, and they end up being memorable classic matches, in my opinion. So I think that WWE will continue this with the Money in the Bank card. So I think that we'll be seeing 5 matches, or maybe a few less, because we have both the men's and the women's Money in the Bank matches, which tend to be a little longer than your average match. So I think we're going to be staying between that 4 to 5 mark when it comes to Money in the Bank. Now, at this point in time of filming this Money in the Bank prediction video, only one match has been announced thus far, and it is the World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. Now, when I was planning the matches for this video, which was before this match was announced, this was not a match I had on the cards. I had no idea, nor did I predict that Seth Rollins was coming back this early from injury. But what it does lead me to believe is that this match in particular will be, one, the main event of the show, because Damian Priest has earned that as being the World Heavyweight Champion. He's been putting on classic matches as of late with that World Championship, really being a strong champion, opposed to the transitional champion that people have been calling him. We should X that term out because he is nothing of that. Seth Rollins coming back, he's done this before. If you look back to Money in the Bank 2016, that's where Seth Rollins came back from that gnarly knee injury, came back, defeated Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 8 years ago, and then was immediately cashed on by Dean Ambrose. So in one night, we had all 3 members of The Shield as your WWE Champion. But that's just a little piece of history. I think what we're going to be seeing here is a similar storyline take place. I think that Seth Rollins will defeat Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship and be immediately cashed in on by the men's Money in the Bank winner. But we're not talking about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match yet, so put a pin in that and we'll jump back to that later on in this video. Let's talk now about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Before we do that, let's talk about what WWE announced that's pretty significant to both of the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. They announced that there's only 6 members in each match. Now, years previous, we've had 6 people in the match, 7 people in the match, 8 people in the match, 5 people in the match, all different types of numbers. I think 6 is the original number, which makes it 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown. So let's predict this match. Let's see who we think will be in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, at this point in time, Chelsea Green has been qualified to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And behind her, I think that, oh, and Io Sky as well. So 2 of the 6 have already been announced, Io Sky and Chelsea Green. Let's predict the rest. I think that Lyra Valkyria will be added to this match. Tiffany Stratton will be added to this match. Naomi will be added to this match. And I also think that maybe we'll get a last opportunity or last chance opportunity match that we've seen previously. And I think that Dakota Kai from Monday Night Raw will be added to this match, making it 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown. Now, who do I think wins this match? Honestly, there are so many names. I would love to see Dakota Kai win that Money in the Bank and go on her own outside of Damage Control. Does Io Sky do it 2 years in a row? But there's one name in particular that I am fascinated with, one that I see the most potential in, and it actually ties into a storyline that we're seeing play out now that pertains to the Women's Championship match at SummerSlam. So let me backtrack. My prediction to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match is Tiffany Stratton. We've seen less and less of her as of late on TV, which is usually done when WWE's kind of slingshotting them back to let them spring forward. I think that's what's going to happen with Tiffany Stratton. I think that she'll be winning the Women's Money in the Bank. Now, when I say that it pertains to the current storyline, she's kind of in cahoots right now working with Nia Jax, who is the Queen of the Ring this year, who earns her opportunity for the championship at SummerSlam. So we already know that Nia Jax will be competing for the Women's WWE Women's Championship, most likely against Bayley at SummerSlam. But if she's in cahoots and she's working with Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank, that opens the door to maybe Nia Jax winning the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam and then Tiffany cashing in, breaking that partnership. Who knows? There's a lot of story to tell there. I would love to see both elevated at the same time, maybe together or separately. Regardless, I see Tiffany Stratton becoming the 2024 Miss Money in the Bank, and we can clearly say that it's Tiffy time in the bank. This next match I want to discuss is a huge match. It's a 6-man tag team match. Pretty predictable at this point. Now, when I say predictable, yes, it's predictable. But there's also another direction they can go, which would be a one-on-one match between Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa for the WWE Championship. Maybe that's being held off for the moment, but I think that at Money in the Bank, we'll see Cody Rhodes tag team with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, who, by the way, have both lost their qualifying matches for Money in the Bank, which leads me to pretty much assume this is the route we're going. Against the Bloodline 2.0, the new Bloodline. The beefier Bloodline, as fans say. Now, there's 4 new members of the Bloodline. We have Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Solo Sikoa, and spoiler alert, if you're watching this before SmackDown, Jacob Fatu has debuted in WWE and has joined the Bloodline. So, we're going to get Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton versus 3 members of the Bloodline. Now, who do I think will be in that team? It could be any variation of the 4 of them, or should be 3 of them. I think we're going to easily get Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And I think that we're going to be getting the debut match of Jacob Fatu with Solo Sikoa really being on the outside, being the leader, the Roman Reigns tribal chief type character, which will lead eventually to Jimmy Uso coming back, returning to make it a 4-on-4, not in a match, not a match, just to even the odds in the beatdown because we're 3 against 4. And really starting this Bloodline Civil War that will be going on, I think, way past WrestleMania 41. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here because, like I said, I've pretty much planned out the rest of what I think will be happening in WWE for the rest of the year. But this match in particular, a 6-man tag team match, WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus 3 of the 4 Bloodline 2.0 members. I'm assuming it'll be Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and maybe Jacob Fatu. I should also add that I think that this match will kind of tie into what we'll see happen with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, because that does also involve the Bloodline. But I think Jimmy Uso returning to kind of even the score and take out his brother Solo for taking him out will eventually plant the seeds for Roman Reigns to return along the time of SummerSlam. And let's dive into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match right now. Like I've said, this 6-man tag kind of ties into with all Bloodline members because the first man to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match was Jey Uso, who is the fan favorite to win this match. He is on the poster of Money in the Bank. The term Yeet in the Bank is going viral all over social media. However, I don't think he'll be winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, before we dive into why I think that, let's predict the rest of the match, the 5 guys that'll be in the match as well. At this point in time, we have Jimmy Uso qualified for the men's Money in the Bank. We have Carmelo Hayes qualified for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and we have Andrade, who qualified for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The other 2 people, I think, or other 3 that I think will be in the match, Chad Gable. Yes, we all saw him get murdered on Monday Night Raw, but he's in his qualifying match again. I think he'll win that match, go on to Money in the Bank. He's earned that opportunity with this heel work he's doing with the Alpha Academy. Another one we'll see is Santos Escobar, because he's in a qualifying match against Logan Paul and LA Knight, who are in a program together with no match announced. SummerSlam. I think he'll kind of get the opportunity in that match to really shine, but also sneak a win and get himself again, 2nd year in a row, to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, the final spot I think will be a last chance opportunity, and I think that that's where we'll see Raw's Finn Balor earned an opportunity to get into that Money in the Bank ladder match. And if you follow me on social media, whether on TikTok or Instagram, both at The Angle Joey, you know exactly why I think Finn Balor will be in that match and what I think he'll be doing moving forward with the Judgment Day. So what do I think is going to happen in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match? There is a lot to unpack. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. I think that with Jimmy Uso returning to get involved in the new Bloodline story, I think that the Bloodline does not want to see Jey Uso win the Money in the Bank, because then that can... They already know that he'll be going after them once Solo becomes the WWE Champion, because right now the angle is Solo is the new Tribal Chief and he wants the WWE Championship, hence why he's in the story with Cody Rhodes. So they want to avoid Jey Uso coming after them. So they're going to screw Jey Uso out of this match, which will allow the Usos to start being reunited, to start this Bloodline Civil War, to bring back Roman Reigns, going all the way through SummerSlam and maybe even to WrestleMania. Who knows? I don't want to talk too much about it because I have another video about what will be happening with the Bloodline and all that coming out shortly after this one. Now, who will win the Money in the Bank ladder match? To me, I think it will be Finn Balor, and I think that in the main event of Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins will repeat history 8 years later, defeat Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship, and immediately right after, Finn Balor will come out and cash in his Money in the Bank, become the new World Heavyweight Champion, and say to Damian, hey, I did this so we can keep the World Championship in the Judgment Day. And now we'll see us the start of the end of the Judgment Day. Power struggle between Damian Priest and Finn Balor going into SummerSlam. Gunther already earned his opportunity to be in the World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. He won the King of the Ring, so we're going to start to see these two kind of go at it for the World Championship, throwing Gunther in the mix at SummerSlam, and this story will move forward down the road. A lot to unpack. I told you earlier that I pretty much have the rest of WWE's 2024 schedule planned out. If you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, comment down below in the comments of this video. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you're thinking. If you think I'm onto something with what I'm talking about, or if I'm completely out there in space, an airhead, not knowing anything that I'm talking about. So I want to know your comments. Get engaged. Comment down below if you think I'm crazy or if you think I'm onto something. Now let's do a quick recap of what I am predicting to be the match card for WWE Money in the Bank 2024. We're going to have the Women's World Championship match, Liv Morgan defending against Zelina Vega. We're going to have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. The Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Chelsea Green. We're going to have a 6-man tag team match, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens taking on the Bloodline 2.0. I'm predicting it'll be Tama Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu with Solo Sikoa on the side calling the shots. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Santos Escobar, Andrade, and Finn Balor. Now, I love doing these fantasy booking videos because, one, I'm a creative person. Two, I am so passionate about WWE and pro wrestling, and it's so much fun. And honestly, the third reason is that you guys watching and listening love to see these videos, because every time I do one, the engagement is outrageous. So I will continue doing them. I'm already planning my SummerSlam prediction video. I've been pretty close thus far in 2024. I'm not gonna lie, pretty proud of that. But if you are enjoying these videos, don't forget to subscribe down below. Continue watching these videos. If you are a returning viewer of mine and you're just enjoying another episode, I appreciate you being here. I don't know what you're still doing here. Go watch more content on this channel because I upload every week, and I'll be uploading even more. I have some new interviews coming out, so stay tuned for that. Exciting stuff. We have SummerSlam coming up. Who knows? Maybe I'll be going back to SummerSlam a year later with WWE, doing some interviews and fun stuff around Cleveland, Ohio. So keep up to date. Stay tuned. Follow me on social media, TikTok and Instagram at The Angle Joey. I post there every single day. Twice a day now I'm posting on those. And sooner or later, I'll be posting twice on this channel as well. More content coming your way, more fun stuff. Go binge more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!